In today's build, you'll be able to do infinite ignitions, have frost armor, have damage resistance on top of the frost armor, restoration, cure, and look damn good doing it. What up, guys? The Alchemist here, and I have something nice for you. So I've been gone for a week because your boy been sick over a week now, okay? I'm still sick. You probably hear it in my voice. But I was tired of not being able to make build videos since Destiny came back for the final update. I have these builds waiting, and I've been wanting to post them, and I want to get them out the door. I'm tired of waiting. So today's build, we're using Caliban's hand. They just buffed up this exotic armor, okay? So it used to make it that your proximity knife scorches target, it damages with its explosions, or ignite targets on final blows, and after throwing a proximity knife, you gain increased melee regeneration until the knife explodes. The buff they gave it is gain a small amount of melee energy when you scorch damages the target, and ignition final blows fully refund melee energy and can overflow into an additional knife charge. So now when you get ignition kills, you get 2 knives on this exotic instead of 1, and if you ever scorch damage somebody, the scorch damage gives you melee energy as well. So you can easily build craft to that by using weapons that does scorch for you as well to give your melee energy back and feed into it so you can spam knives even more. So the artifact we're using for this build is Hunter's Journal. Why, you may ask? The best thing for Hunter's Journal for a solar build that makes solar broken in this final sandbox is solar fulmination. Solar fulmination makes it that your ignitions do increased damage and increased radius, and that's the whole purpose of this build, is doing ignitions non-stop. And solar fulmination is the reason why you're able to do stuff like this. So if I come over here and bring this Minotaur out, we'll be able to do an infinite solar ignition loop that kills all enemies in the room. So if I break his shield real quick, right, and then I kill him with the knife to trigger an ignition, you will see infinite ignitions going off while me having to touch them. As long as people live, the ignitions will continue going off non-stop. So you can clear rooms easily and hard to end content from just killing one person with your knife to trigger an ignition. By the way, I will have the gameplay at the end of the video like I usually do, so you can watch the gameplay of the build work, you know. I just want to make sure y'all get every gear cog in the machine for this build. We're also running Shield Crush because we will be getting frost armor in this build from using Salvation's Grip, which is an exotic catalyst, make it that destroying a stasis crystal or defeating a frozen target with this weapon grants you frost armor. We will be using that so that we get frost armor, so we can abuse Shield Crush. Shield Crush make it that while you have Woven Mail, frost armor, or Void Overshield, your melee recharge faster and deal increased damage. Solar can't do that on their own. So we're getting frost armor from Salvation Grip to give us 25% extra melee damage for our knives to make sure it's secure a kill on an enemy, no matter how tough they are, so we can trigger the ignitions. And this gives us even more uptime on our knives coming back in case we mess up a loop because the enemy was tankier than what we thought it was, right? Just more forgiveness in the build. We will have raid in this build 24/7, so this will increase your grenade recharge and grenade damage if you do decide to run like a incendiary grenade or something. But grenades all up to you based on which one you want to use, okay? We got Radiant Orb in this build. If you see my cursor going up, I got stick drifting in. Anyway, I have Radiant Orbs in this build, so whenever we pick up Orb Power, we get Radiant. We have on Elemental Siphon, so whenever we get kills with our solar weapon, we'll make fire sprites. We got on Targeting Autoloader. We are using an auto rifle in this build to really abuse this artifact even more. While you have an auto rifle equipped, defeating targets reloads your equipped weapon and temporarily increase weapon damage. So if I bring out some goblins here, you will see that while I'm shooting and killing them, it basically takes forever for me to have to reload when killing them. As you can see, I'm basically never having to reload. Boom. You see, I never had to reload. That's amazing, right? But then we also have Sustained Fire that say continuously damaging combatants or healing allies for auto rifle grants you damage resistance. So while I'm using targeting autoloader, this is giving me a 20% weapon damage buff, making the auto rifle do dumb damage. And then I have Sustained Fire, which is making that I get 25% damage resist while I'm killing people with the auto rifle, which is just great survivability for solar, because you know solar have no damage resistance within it. So we're stacking these damage resistances, and we're also stacking frost armor to have that damage resistance build to live easy, while we have restoration on and cure getting triggered in this build. And then we got energy, diffusion, substrate that make it that we get 5% damage resist from all element types. And that will stack with the damage resist in our chest piece and stuff. Your special weapon can be whatever you want. I just got mint retrograde on, but it can be whatever you want. Okay. Oh yeah, if you're wondering what purse I have on my ring and nail, I have on Firefly and Incandescent. Both of these together, if you kill enemies near each other, it can trigger ignition. So I went with this. More ignition, more kabloomies. And I think Swordbreaker or any shotgun that have 1-2 punch is still a good option in this build, because help you clean up, tank your enemies with your knife. Whether it's like a champion or something, you can shotgun, throw your knife, and they'll kill it, triggering ignitions and whatnot. So a 1-2 punch shotgun is probably the better bet instead of just any special weapon. Subclass. Your super can be whatever you want. I chose Golden Gun, but dealer's choice, okay? We got Gambler Dodge on, so we get our melee back whenever we do need our knife back whenever we want. We're using Proximity Knife, of course. Healing Grenade for me, just if I'm ever in a pinch, I can heal myself. But again, you can use whatever grenade you want in this build. All up to you. We got to knock them down, so while Radiant, we don't care about the first part, for our supers do more damage. We're mostly here just for the second part. While Radiant, final blows, you're equipped to throw a knife, fully refund your melee energy. This will keep the gameplay loop going as smoothly as possible. While we're throwing our knives, we always get our knife back when we kill someone with it. Okay. Again, I want it to be that we always have a knife on us no matter what. Never in an opportunity where we don't have a way to get our knife charge back for the build to keep doing this gameplay loop. We got on your mark. This is very important for any solar build for hunters now, because they buffed it up, where activating your class ability or landing precision hits grant you and your nearby ally reload speed and weapon stat. Max stats at 10 give you 50 plus weapon stat. So it's easy to hit 200 weapon stat in this build to do dumb damage. You keep the 10 stacks forever in this build. And final blows, while the 10 stacks cure you, but also too, Bungie did a buff to this aspect. Now, not only does it cure you, it also gives you restoration. So now, when you're getting kills with max stacks, you will be getting restoration on in your build. Fragments, these fragments are very important. This is the only way you can do the chain ignitions you just seen me do. You gotta have on Ember Ashes, which apply more score stacks to targets. You gotta have on Ember of Eruption, which makes that your ignitions have increased area of effect. This increases your melee stat as well, so it's a double win, right? You want to have on Ember Charge, so your solar ignition spread Scorch as well, and then that would trigger the explosion loop for your gameplay with the ignitions. We got on Ember Empyrean, so I get solo weapon kills or ability kills, and extend the duration of Radiant and Restoration, so we always have Restoration on us non-stop and Radiant. And then we have on Ember Torches, where whenever we use our power melee, we get Radiant immediately. I know we got the artifact on picking up Aura Power, give us Radiant, but again, consistency. I love just being able to throw my melee and then I got Radiant immediately, while me having to worry about let me make an orb first to get that Radiant going. So that's what Ember Torch is on. But if you are confident build, this is a free slot where you go to anything you want it to be. You can go soulless, so the buffs of Radiant Restoration stay on longer, or whatever you want it to be. You go Mercy, so Fire Strike you Restoration. Up to you. Stats in this build, 200 melee, like I said, make our melee do most damage possible. Shield Crush, so we can kill people with our knives easier for the ignitions. And then we got 140 weapon stat. Try to go 150 if you can, but if not, 140 is already good, because again, our aspect can give us a plus 50. So technically our weapon stat is at 190. Mods, we got hands-on. While we're getting melee kills, we get super energy, of course. We got Harmonic Siphon, so our Wing and Nail gives us Orbs of Power. And then we got our Special Ammo Finder for our special weapon. But you can change it to Heavy Ammo Finder, so you have more ammo for Salvation's Grip. We're rocking 3 heavy-handed, so every time we get a melee kill, we make Aura Power for ourselves. Again, picking up Aura Power gives Radiant. We got on Resist Mod, so they buff it up to 10%. Damage resist to all damage in the game, except Strand and Stasis, but you know what I mean. We got 3 weapon surges on for solar, so that our auto rifle do even more damage than what it's already doing. But with Radiant on top of that and stuff, so our auto rifle is just doing dumb damage, 17% more damage with all of these mods on. Not 17%, 21% more damage. And then we have on Reaper, and powerful attraction. Whenever we shade step, we make an ore power and pick up ores around us. Then we got on class find. Just get that extra plus 20 stat in our class ability, so that we can shade step with Gambler's Dodge to get our knife back again. The armor set we're using in this build is very important. We are using the new 7th Seraph armor set that you get for Cosmodrome. You can farm Master Lost sectors for it to get the armor set to drop for your tier 5s. You can even run with your friends, so you can go in there for full fire team and just spam lost sectors to get this armor set. Or you can wait till Cosmodrome is corrupted with the distortion and do public events all day to get the armor set for this. But the armor set basically says 2-piece. Final blows with area effect damage, which is Ignitions are. Ignitions are area effect damage. Solar abilities are knives, kills. 7 Seraph weapons or Icolos weapons grant Warmind charges. Each stack of Warmind charges increase your weapon stat and grenade stat. This is what maxes out our weapon stat to 200 for us and make our grenade stat go even more. I did test out what's the numbers, but yeah, you're maxing out your weapon stat. That's all we really care about in this build. And in the 4-piece, while you have Warmind charges, defeating powerful combatants, so anything that's like orange name, yellow name, champion, whatever, destroying a construct or destroying a tangle releases a solar detonation that damages combatants and heal allies. Constructs include barricades, turrets, stasis crystals, and other objects created in the field. Salvation grips make crystals. So while we have charges, right? If I kill them for knife, I now have Warmind charges down at the bottom, right? If I pull out my Salvation grip and make crystals, I can break these crystals however I want. And you see it just did a Warmind explosion to deal damage. The Warmind explosion does a good amount of damage. If I go over here and kill this goblin, and then I throw Salvation grip right there, up and hit them instead. Put it right there, and then I shoot this. It does one-shot them, so it does a good amount of damage. And I think what I love about this gameplay loop is that it helps me blow up my crystals for me to get frost armor for our build here. So that's how we get our frost armor and triggering this perk way more often with initiations and stuff to just really go ham with the build. Hope you guys enjoyed this build. It's a lot of fun, very strong, very solid build, probably the best solid build to be out there to be honest. Go have a ball with it. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys always. Until next time, stay up.